Hey everybody, welcome to my review of the 2020 Canyon Neuron Aluminum Superlight. I wanted to do a video on this because I felt like when I was buying my bike about a month ago, there were like absolutely no videos on YouTube. I mean, I did see the one and it was pretty decent, but there wasn't like a whole lot telling you about it. So I thought, hey, why not? I'll make one of my own. This video isn't necessarily going to be about the specs of the bike. I feel like we can all look that up, but rather about kind of the feel, the vibe I get from riding it, and what I think its strengths are versus its weaknesses. Upgrades I've done to the bike include some new pedals, and I went tubeless on the front and the back. So starting off with things I enjoy about the bike, I think my number one love of this bike is just the momentum it carries, going uphill and downhill. Before this bike, I kind of was a hater of uphill. I would do everything I could to shuttle, but just having gone on probably around 7 rides so far, I've just really learned to enjoy the uphill because of this bike. The momentum of the big 29-inch tires just keep you going uphill and go over any small rocks in your way, so I think a major strength of it is just the ability for it to just keep going and keep that speed. With saying that, it climbs super well. I've read some reviews saying that it kind of is a little bit luggy while climbing. I haven't felt that at all. I think it climbs like a monster, especially with that Eagle gear. So I don't think that is any worry if that's what you're looking for. And along with it climbing well, it descends really fast. Like that same thing with the momentum of the tires, it just keeps going. One of the things that you may be wondering about is the suspension, how it's only 130 millimeter front and back. I think it's plenty. My friend has a Canyon Spectral, and he's got 160 millimeters worth of travel, and it's plush. Don't get me wrong, but riding this, I am fine, and I'm going over drops. I go in rock gardens. I go really fast, so I think that 130 millimeter suspension is plenty. And lastly, it's honestly just a good looking bike. It's sexy. I just think for the price point that I paid in March, I paid $15.99. It came out to $17.30 with taxes. I just think that's a super awesome price point for the bike that you're getting. Now moving on to some of its weaker points. I think the first one and the main one that I've kind of had trouble with is the tires. Yes, the Momentum, the 29s are great, but the tires that it comes with on its stock, I've had some issues with. It comes tubeless ready, but I was running inner tubes on it probably for the first week, and every ride I would pop a tube. And so that was kind of frustrating, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make the investment and go tubeless right now. So I did that, and then literally on my second ride, after going tubeless, which is about 3 days after I did it, the back tire ripped and my sealant exploded and it went all over the place and it didn't seal. And so the back tires are already just kind of shot. I could patch it or I could just probably just ride tubes with it again. But it was just kind of frustrating because I spent the money to make that happen and literally 3 days later it had popped. So that was a little bit frustrating. But I guess it's not a hard fix. You can just upgrade to thicker, beefier tires. Another weak point that I think it has is the saddle. Really not that big of a deal, easy replacement. What I will say is it's really rough. It's not super plush. Anytime I'm really sitting on it, my butt kind of hurts. So I think that's my next upgrade is just getting a cushier, softer seat. And the last weakness I think it has, the brakes, the Shimano brakes that it has, the stopping power is decent, but it's not amazing. I find that when I'm going on a berm or coming towards somewhere where I need to stop, I don't get that immediate stopping power, which is understandable because I mean the brakes on it are good, but they're not like the most expensive brakes in the world. So having said all those weak points, I don't necessarily think they are that big of issues. I think they're easy fixes and doesn't take away from the value or the worth of the bike. One last thing I want to say, it's not necessarily a strength or a weakness about the bike, but maybe just an in-between. I was reading some reviews and on some videos people were saying that it's not the most playful bike, and I guess that is true in a way, but you have to consider you're running 29-inch tires. But I will say that it is a fun bike. It is playful enough, I feel like, and I enjoy that. I love tearing down a trail, I love whipping around a berm, going off drops, hitting small little jumps, and I think it is definitely playful enough. So overall, I'll just be flat out. I love this bike. I think it is blast. I try to ride every day or every other day, and I am just enjoying the heck out of it. So if you're considering, you're on the line, like, is this a good bike? Will this be fun? I think you should go for it because I'm having a blast. It's a good full suspension bike. It's got plenty of travel for anything you're going to do. And for the price point, I don't think you're going to get anything better than this. I was doing quite a bit of research on what bikes I potentially wanted to buy, and I just think the Canyon model of the direct mail, it just saves you money and it allows you to get a way better bike for a cheaper price point. So overall, I love it, and I hope this video helped you if you're considering maybe getting it. Just like I said before, I love the bike, and I think if you were to purchase it, it's money well spent. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.